Well, howdy doody. How's your Sunday? Happy Sunday. So, day of rest. I'm at work today, so that's why I'm not in my home or my private practice. But anyways, I wanted to get out a message to the Divine Feminine today. And without further ado, I did the reading for her just to see what her energies were like and what she's been going through, and to see if there is some helpful advice or things going on that she could delve into, maybe with a little bit more support from the cards. So I put the general situation here and some help, that could come to her, or make some sort of like decisions or clarity around what she might be doing or feeling. And then I clarified those. So what I had as the major present situation for her was the death card reversed. So if I thought that death meant sweeping change, like sweeping in change coming in and happening to her, and sort of like a tower moment or a death moment, meaning like a relationship is ended or not working so well, right? Or I have Scorpio, right? So the death and regeneration, rebirth, going from the ashes to the eagle, and you have it in reverse, then it kind of means a relationship is not ending. Something is not completely changing. And I interpret this as the female is either like things aren't changing, things aren't moving for her to her needs or desires, or maybe she's not interested in death and rebirth and regeneration, or maybe there's a Scorpio in her life, right, that maybe the relationship isn't quite as fulfilling as she'd like that to be for her. But I have this feeling that things on the inside, could be changing, but maybe on the external, not really changing, like not seeing a lot of different change on the outside. It's kind of what I'm generally getting from this card, is that the situation is currently not changing. It's not shifting for whatever reason. And that could be good. It could be stability, which is what I have here as the clarifier cards, is 2 4s just popped out, right, and just showed themselves. And so I'm seeing, 2 number 4s, 44, kind of cool, but it's basically saying she's stable right now. She's not interested in being offered anything new, not interested in giving or taking much. She's kind of holding on to what she has. Holding on, meaning that the best thing would be is to not do anything right now, not make any big changes, but you could meditate, get centered, stay calm with your emotions, stay centered with your stability and finances and work life, and just stay as is. I mean, just, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to make any changes currently. So if you're not comfortable doing something, I take this as don't do it. If you don't want to give to another person, you don't have to. You may want to please yourself. Like if you didn't have to do anything to meet anybody else to make change for them, you would be meeting your own needs and meeting yourself, as the clarifier. And meditating, like nothing right now that's being offered to you is going to change you. Nothing that is in a give and take kind of relationship right now is worth changing for, right? You can be yourself and call in what you want, meaning you don't have to be codependent and please and help other people and do what they want you to do. The focus should be on you right now, right? Not on the outside world and circumstances changing or changing those outside circumstances, but working on what makes you happy, focusing on that, not making compromises, not focusing on what the other person should be doing, how to change them, how to do things. Those things shouldn't be focused on to be changing. Like you're not critical, you're not judgmental, you're not thinking about them. You're just really doing you right now and holding on to that. And I think that is a wise place to be in this present situation. That's what I got out of it. In the past, there was some sort of breakup, or a Libra or an air sign of some sort, justice coming in, like a just situation, or breakup, a divorce, or something not really working out in your favor. And so that ended, and you ended it, or they ended it, or somehow it ended. And the reason why it ended, when I clarify, is because you were needing some rest from this relationship. It was too exhausting what was going on. Maybe you had some family issues or things you needed to focus on here that was spiritual, and you needed to rest on it and think about it. You had 3 swords that you were thinking about, and 1 that you were kind of using to help you in your guidance. So it was like things from the past, but this is currently happening right now, and it really is about you being encased in this like golden energy rather than the past, but needing a break from whatever was happening, like mentally. And so taking a break, taking a step back, because whatever was going on, it was ridiculously painful. Like it was so ridiculous. You knew you didn't even need to be doing it. So you put an end to it. You put a stop to it, and you had good boundaries, enough to say, I'm going to walk away and take a break because this is really painful. So that was fantastic. Good job setting those good boundaries. You teach people how to treat you. You actually show them how to treat you. So you set the good boundaries, and you don't give in. You don't give up. You hold on to your values and your principles, and you follow your own dreams and your own intuition, your own guide, so you can end up where you want to be. So in the current sort of like desire, you'd like to be alone, because it's like you need to find your light and your spiritual understanding of this situation and of yourself. And anything that would sway you from your own intuition and your own spirituality and your own groundedness would actually be a detriment. It would be a step backwards to that justice and that pain and those issues of the end. And so really you're trying to create a new love, a new situation, rather than repeating the old circumstances. So that doesn't mean you can find, a new person, but you're looking to interact in a new way with people. And so you're going to want to test that out to see if they fit in your new dynamic for what is a healthy relationship for you, and not to invest in things you'd rather be alone if you have to invest in something that is a lose situation. And you may be even trying to stay alone from people coming in boldly, making demands of you, or making invitations that feel sort of like flighty, where this person's not going to stick around or stay. This is the kind of like the card of a one-night stand kind of guy, passionate and sparkly and shiny, but maybe is just around for a second and doesn't really fulfill your long-term needs. And so like you'd rather be alone than do that. That's your current desire, is like working on setting up something that's more long-term and holding on to that. And your guide, your principles and your guiding, energy is like not going for just the spontaneous person with no commitment. How you're really feeling is that you would like to have a lover or be connected, be in a divine union. That's what you really want. You don't need a one-night stand, a booty call, friends with benefits, or, you're looking for a marriage, like a love affair, an equal from the gods, from the angels. And when that comes in, it's going to be a passionate, you're going to, put down all of your ropes and issues and past and start anew and have a new love affair that's very passionate, very romantic, lots of communication, lots of time spent together, lots of new creative ideas, and hope from this relationship for it to become a more serious commitment. And you won't waste your time with anything but that feels passionate and healthy and good, for you. And in the future outcome, I had hope, meaning you're not giving up hope. You're going to find the right person who offers you this passionate love affair, who's interested in a commitment and healthy and long-term investment, and someone who has like the ability to bring it. Like they're totally available. They're going to be in the picture with you 100%, and that gives you hope. And you won't give up hope until you find that. It doesn't mean you need to dwell on it or focus on it. Obviously, you need to go do your own things and make yourself happy and feel fulfilled. But it means that that's going to happen, and it's going to happen, so don't worry about it. Like, have faith and hope in the universe and in God and your spirit that is going to occur, that you don't need to spend a lot of effort doing it. Although working on your own life, your own self, Eight of Pentacles, and working towards, it's like a Virgo nature, towards what is it that you want? How can you, what kind of person do you want? What are your values? Knowing what you want and working towards that and not letting anything else in. And knowing that you have, the ability to be very firm and clear. And she doesn't mess around, The Queen of Swords is like honest and to the point. And she doesn't need to be emotional about it. She's very strong. But people believe her. When she says what she says, it's like she means it. It's kind of all or nothing. Like, you can't really mess with her. Like, what's done is done. If you've messed up, you've messed up. And she's going to tell you so. So you're not going to be able to come in and, like, manipulate and butter her up and lie about stuff. I mean, she's a sharpshooter. She knows exactly. She will cut through. She has enough intuition and like interdynamics and her relationships of understanding how to be like honest and to the point, and you can't manipulate her. She's going to know because her intuition is so strong. She's like serious about this, and she's working towards, you know, this hope, and she knows exactly what she's looking for. And when it comes, everybody will be, you know, reborn, right? They're from these coffins. They're coming up naked out of this. They're being called on by the angel there to basically account for their wrongs and for their rights and everything they've done. And she hopes the best in her favor because she's done the honest, good deeds that she should. She's working towards, you know, having some sort of like healthy outcome for herself, and that's going to happen. That is definitely going to happen with the person who's going to be her lover. That person is going to be a just and fair minded individual, level-headed, not fucking around with her feelings and her heart and her emotions. It's going to be a sharpshooter. It's going to be an honest person. Could be a male or female energy, but it's going to be the person who is like adept at interpersonal relationship skills. So when I looked at the bottom of the deck, the person who could be coming in could be, you know, manifesting this person, this King of Wands, this person who's like in control of their passion and knows how to create from a perspective of having a whole entire kingdom to himself, that he is aware of how to be, or you have perfected your passion and can manifest what you want. You can create whatever things that you need really successfully, really well, or it could be a fire sign or an Aries. Somebody that underneath that all may be the one who's a committed person who's interested in coming into that place that you're creating, that you're serious about, or it could be the one, that person's not changing the situation right now, because we had the main card as it's not changing. So if you looked back to that beginning card, something's not shifting. Maybe you're having a trouble manifesting some sort of passionate encounter, but you're not giving up hope. And that lover is going to show up. It is the feeling you have that there is a person for you. So pay attention to your dreams and what your dreams are telling you. Like listen, pay attention. There's some really great meditation music on YouTube for sleep and getting in touch with your intuition and paying attention to your overall dreams at night, but also the larger picture. Like if you have a certain person in mind, or a soulmate or a twin flame or somebody that you dream about, let's say, and they're not really measuring up to your dreams of what you really want. They're coming in under the par or the par excellence, or, you know, what you really want in a relationship, then you need to pay attention to those things and focus on your values and not give way. Have hope that you're going to find the lover who has the dream, you know, the passion and the dream that you're looking for. Right? And don't settle for anything else. Don't give to anyone who's not going to serve you in that way. Because that, you don't need to change anything to find what you're looking for. You just need to hold to your values for that lover who brings that passion and hope for the union like you do. And those dreams are going to match what you're wanting. Okay? So hopefully that helps. That's the information I got on this reading. The bottom of the card for the Lover's deck was the Wheel of Fortune. So things will be moving in your favor. You will be successful. What will be will be. The fortune will go in your favor. So you've got the fixed signs that represent, you know, humanity from the angels. And so the angels bring humanity to us in a way of like having good fortune. So you don't need to worry. It will happen by faith. However, the two outcome cards that came today was this chaos and conflict as the first one, with that horse who's divided in different ways there. So I'll read these to you so I don't like slander the message from the artist. And then this one came in reverse, which was Unfinished Symphony. Sort of an interesting one. So let's read that, and then I'll post another reading right after this for, you know, shortly after this, within a couple hours, for the Divine Masculine. This is the message for the Divine Feminine. But if you are the divine masculine, then feel free to read this so that you're aware of her energies if you're cross watching. If this isn't resonating for you or the cross watcher, then I'm not the current reader for you, and it's not helpful, then you may feel free to like and subscribe and listen. But if it's not helpful, then please don't worry. Just check out. So chaos and conflict is what's currently pressuring this situation. So he's losing parts of himself during this episode so that, he needs to stay, this woman needs to stay focused on what she really wants. So she doesn't enter chaos and conflict, and she's stable, right? She's 44. 4 and 4 is stable, which is also the twin flame number, right? 4 and 4. Okay, so the meaning is disarray, being at a cross purposes with somebody else, with another, and the tension of opposites and the value of chaos before order. So opposing forces come together to create a turbulent atmosphere, but consider the value of chaos that serves you well as you become unmoored or unstuck by it. Scattered to the winds, you leave behind the parts of yourself you no longer need and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself anew. Although the conflict appears to exist externally, its essence is also internal, so projected outward and causing disarray. You may find yourself at a cross purposes with someone else, facing a storm you feel you can't control. Yet every storm passes, and chaos leads to a reordering of things. Conflict provides a way to see more than one side of a situation. Look upon this as just a moment in time when you may need to take shelter and step away from the fray. So don't be too eager to fight. This is a time to understand rather than to be understood. So, good. In a relationship, it means stubbornness is keeping you in a state of opposition, or the other person is not moving, not changing. Someone's not changing. The incessant need to be right will only serve to prolong the conflict that deep down you want to be resolved. So this is an opportune moment to learn about your value, your sense of yourself, and what's really important to you. Exactly, that's what I was talking about. Some things are non-negotiable. If that's true, it's not necessary to fight. Just focus on yourself, right? And your values. Can you find a way through the stormy emotions to higher ground? And soon the air will clear and you will be in a much better place than before. For the storm will have passed, blazing a path for new growth in its wake. Things can become electric and enlightened and always better than before if you use this time constructively. So unfinished symphony is a number 10, but it came in opposition, meaning that maybe you can finish out this symphony and not have it lingering around so that it's unfinished business, right? If that sounds good to you. I mean, maybe pausing with unfinished business actually isn't the best course for you right now. Maybe it's about finishing that business. So what it means in the upright, essentially, is unfinished business, an incomplete lesson, or lack of closure that need to make amends. So you don't have that issue right now. This is a time to tie up loose ends as you near the completion of a cycle. Maybe it's to begin a new cycle, or project, or a mastery, or lesson. Before moving forward, though, it's important that you come to terms with where you are now. Practice radical acceptance and take inventory so that emotional and psychological closure can occur and the answers you seek will be found. You can't move forward if you are leaving things unfinished. Reflect on what has passed so that the symphony can finally end on a high note. But you don't need to do that anymore. You do not need to think that over. You need to be content and with yourself. Don't think about this situation. It is finished. So moving on is difficult when love lingers, things are left unsaid, and you haven't had the opportunity for closure in your relationship and in your heart. You can still feel bound up in your relationship when closure is denied you. So it's important to achieve this for yourself. So maybe you've done this, maybe you haven't. But write that letter in your mind, make that call to that person, or have that conversation over a cup of coffee. For peace of mind, accept matters as they are. Make amends if need be. And declare your feelings, even if only to yourself. Be clear about what was left unresolved. And close that door, even if you need to do that on your own, on the past, so you can set yourself free. Only then can new love blossom. So you could do that, but know that you don't actually have to do that. That's not what's happening right now. So maybe you're not meant to close the door. You're not meant to make any changes. So you might take that into consideration as the advice of this reading. So to complete projects or to know that they are completed and you don't need to bother with that. That could be, I think it could go either way. My take is that that's actually not, don't worry about closing things up. Just focus on yourself, the hope you have, your values, your dreams, your goals with yourself, which may be monogamy, right? Or long-term commitment or a passionate love affair that provides this clarity of hope and dreams that you both share, where you're innocent and come out of judgment and no longer have those judgments of yourself or each other. You're clear. You're clear slate. You know, it's not unfinished. It's actually just begun. And you will avoid all the chaos of stuff you do not want. So anyway, so those are all your cards for the Divine Feminine. I so appreciate you being here. I hope that message was helpful. Please like and subscribe or share these messages if they were helpful for you. I hope they were helpful, and stay tuned. In the next couple hours, I will provide a masculine reading as well. Okay, bye-bye. Have a good Sunday.